Chapter 21. But Job answered and said, Hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolations. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to man? If it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled? Mark me, and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling taketh hold on my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power? Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of God upon them. Their bull gendereth and faileth not, their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and harp, and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto God, Depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God distributeth sorrows in his anger. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth them, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure hath he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Shall any teach God knowledge? Shall he judgeth those that are on high? One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in the bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. They shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worm shall cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, Where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens? That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face, and who shall repay him what he hath done? Yet shall he be brought to the grave, and shall remain in the tomb. The clods of the valley shall be sweet unto him, and every man shall draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers there remaineth falsehood? I just can't imagine how patient here Job was being. He says in verse 3, Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. He doesn't expect his friends to actually pay any attention to anything he says or however he's been. This, by the way, is halfway through Job. In verse 4, he says, As for me, is my complaint to man? In other words, am I complaining to you guys? I didn't. I didn't complain to you at all. And if I did, why should my spirit not be troubled? You know, my spirit can be troubled even though I might complain to you, and I didn't complain to you. And then he talked in verse 7, chapter 1. He makes the point to them that if the things that happen to him happen to wicked people, then why is it that some wicked people live, become old, are mighty in power, have all kinds of wealth and all kinds of, their children are established in their sight, and their offspring, receive recognition and everything before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear. Neither is the rod of God upon them. Their bull, they have good farms. They have good cattle. The cows don't have any problem having calves. They can send forth their little children to do things, and the children can dance and joy. These people listen to music, and they play songs, and they spend their days in wealth. And then at the very end, in a single day, they go down and they die. And they don't have any of the problems that Job is having. And he makes the point, therefore they say unto God, Depart from us. Who are you that we should know you? What profit would we have if we pray unto you? And he said, these are not the kind of people that I am. These are not the kind of people I am. I am different than this. He says in verse 23, one dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. In other words, a person might die being apparently on the outside, being young and in full strength, at ease and quiet. In other words, they don't have any stress, no problems. And another dieth in bitterness of soul in verse 25, and never eateth with pleasure. In other words, this person's had apparently nothing but trouble all of his life. Verse 26, they shall lie down alike in the dust, and the worm shall cover them. Basically, he's letting his friends know that they are not paying attention. They are not treating him honestly. They are not treating him fairly. That in fact, they're saying to him that all kinds of wicked things must have happened, because otherwise he wouldn't have this. And yet there is the evidence all around of people they know are wicked who are having no troubles whatsoever. Verse 27, I know your thoughts and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. Then verse 34, how then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers there remaineth falsehood. In other words, the way they are thinking is totally wrong and has nothing to do with anything God has ordained for anything to happen to Job, and nothing Job has done for which he is being righteously condemned by God.